Aquarius, how are you? Welcome to the channel and to the reading, Aquarius. We are going to connect with the message from the angels. I am going to start this reading, this channeling, with a message of light with a sign from the angels. They want to speak at all costs. They want to deliver the message to you. But I am going to tell you, this reading that I am going to give you now will make sense to you in the next 24 hours, so you will have to be very attentive to the message. Well, this is the same energy that Pisces shares. Listen to the signs from your intuition, your feelings, your inner sense. It is also the listening to your prayers, right? To the prayers that are being formed. In other words, the prayers that you sent to heaven, to your beings of light, to have this, what is this solution, right? This desire solidified in your material reality and to be able to have in your life once again what is balance. In other words, those requests are being attended to, so do not underestimate any type of dream or any type of feeling, because it is accurate. But they are also talking to us there about balance. Balance arrives in your lives to transform something in some way, right? Because one must be sure it is necessary to understand that there is a moment, a time, for you to be able to seek all that balance as well between work, leisure, spirituality, sports, and relationships. In other words, they are also helping you focus and balance things in your life. The angels know that lately you have been very busy, dealing with so many demands placed upon you. And they want to help you with your responsibilities through this card, which is the card of balance. If at any moment you show some type of situation that has become unbalanced, you will notice the energies as if they are diminishing. The scarcity of energy creates the illusion that there is not enough time during the day, and that is when one enters into a vicious cycle of time limitation. So what the angels are coming to tell you is that you also listen to the signals from your body, that you listen to that which you are resisting listening to regarding dividing yourself in some way, because they are asking you to regulate the dose between what is meditation, exercise, your social life, and leisure. You know that finding balance between work and everything else will help you grow and feel truly happy in your daily life. If today you find yourself overwhelmed by your responsibilities, do not hesitate to keep asking for that help, to keep asking for those signs from your angels. And furthermore, they also bring forward solutions so that you can, find that necessary balance, while they also assist you in realizing exactly how you are able to let go of those heavy burdens that have been weighing you down and holding you back from truly moving forward with your life in a positive way. Let's see what the angels want to tell us now. I remind you that these are always generalized readings. It may be that you need to have a personal reading with me. You can always schedule it through the website. You see it here in the video, the address of the page, and I also leave you a pinned comment on your sign so that you can enter the site directly. You can choose the reading of your preference there. Let's connect now with the message directly of light from the angels. Do you see that there are situations that are somehow overwhelming you? Well, here your entire arcana appeared. You're truly aligned with what are the signs, and the star is guiding you to what is a path of salvation, of tranquility, of harmony, of balance, because you have the Six of Swords. It is that. There are situations that are overwhelming you now, and help is near so that that situation ceases to be a burden or ceases to overwhelm you. But they are also telling you that you are not going to continue like this for much longer, that you are not going to continue being alone for much longer with all that, even less so living in this way, right? Whether it is from that imbalance, it's a life that is not having that harmony or that tranquility or that balance that you need and yearn for and ask for, like other issues that may also be making you feel bad, right? Economic issues, couple issues, work issues, health issues, issues in general that you need in some way to convert or change this situation into something better, right? It is telling you that help is arriving. We are helping you. So do not stop asking for that help from your beings of light, for they are listening. Talk to them, because you know that for them to intervene in your life, you have to authorize them. But also people, flesh and blood people who are around you, who are there to help you. Asking for help does not mean that you are weak or that you are not capable of something. There are people who perhaps do not want to tell you that they are there to help you, but it is known by itself. One knows that they are there. And those people would be very blissful to be able to collaborate with you at this moment according to what you need. Likewise, the Five of Pentacles is also a card that invites us to see specifically in what form and in what way we feel. We feel lacking, and why. Why do we feel empty? Why do we feel excluded? Why do we sometimes feel energetically ill? I am talking about, you see there is an imbalance there that can also be felt from a place of little attention to what is sleep, to what is nutrition, what is exercise, or that you are working a lot and are not entering into that other part, which is bonding a little more with your loved ones or distracting yourself, having your moments of activity of leisure, right? Well, that is everything that must be balanced, because the Five of Pentacles is also a card that speaks to us about seeing how certain resources are managed so as not to feel this scarcity and this poverty and this emptiness. You have the capacity to do this alone or with help, because even though you feel the situation is critical, within the crisis itself, you are finding a solution. This is because you also possess a certain illumination through your intuition or the signs that reach you and that you perceive. Here is a very strong card, which is the Six of Swords card. You know that the Six of Swords card is a card that tells you that you are saved from a danger, you are saved from a disharmonious situation, because they're telling you it is over. Right. It is over. The end of this situation has arrived. And there is a quite favorable outcome for you, because it leads you directly to another place of harmony, of calm, and of happiness. In other words, it is the light that you have been wanting to see for some time. So I am going to ask you to start staying calm. Soon you will be sighing with relief, and you will be developing something new with a person, personally, at work, in what is money, in whatever you have to fix or manage. It is also telling me that it may be that the possibility appears for you to make some type of trip or relocation. It may be short, it may be a little longer, but it is something very convenient for you and also necessary. So you are going to bring from that trip a lot of good energy, because the Star card is there. The Star card is your arcana, and it is telling us that, look, the Six of Swords turned over again, that finally you find the way and the form to reach happiness, to connect with your desire specifically. You are going to conquer something very, very interesting, right? You should believe a little more in yourself. And you should also believe in the end of a difficult situation, literally. Well, the Six of Swords has come out again, so that end of a complicated situation is definitely marked. See that I say that the Six of Swords is that card that is announcing to us that we are getting rid of the situation that is already felt as having a lot of tension, or that it is already dangerous, or that it is already very difficult to maintain, because it is you, perhaps. And there are other people also in this situation who need that situation to change context, to change reality. You, your person of interest, you and the family, you and the children. So you are looking for better conditions for this to happen. You are seeing the way or the form to make this happen. And above all, the Six of Swords speaks to us about what could also be that sensation that will provide balance, because you are also seeking the best conditions to arrive at it. There is a withdrawal from the situation. It is a decision-making process to move away from a toxic situation, perhaps a little conflictive. That light that is coming is the one that announces to us what is the moment of tranquility, especially emotional. Because if you have had the sufficient courage, or will have the sufficient courage and wisdom and humility necessary to recognize that everything has a limit, and I see it for you here, that recognition in the Five of Pentacles, it is the crisis that leads you to recognize this. Everything has a limit. In fact, the situation has managed you, perhaps from someplace, right? This situation has left you really quite disconcerted. It is showing you something with total clarity. I really need for you to see it and truly react to what is happening there, because this is an Eight of Swords. If you actually react to that situation and take the time to see what the different ways out are, well, then obviously you will finally find the clarity you need, through which you should already be very clear about what you are willing to tolerate and what you are no longer willing to tolerate. Aquarius has had sufficient clarity to recognize that they have to make a decision to leave. That is why the Star is also guiding you. It is telling you it is already time to carry out that change. Because how interesting it is to know that perhaps you have to start from zero in another place, because it is leading you toward a place where you hope to find better conditions to move forward with your life. And you will surely be resuming important matters that you may have left pending due to lack of resources, or that you may have left pending in this difficult stage that you have just gone through. So there is no way we are not in a situation of great openness, of certainty that your decision has been the correct one, because there is something intimate. There is an intimate sign that is telling you that what is coming from now on is much better than what you are leaving behind. So yes or yes, you are reaching the end of a relationship due to a conflict that must be recognized, by the way, because here's the Eight of Swords. Why do I tell you that? Because the Eight of Swords is a card that sometimes arises when the person knows there is a problem, knows there is a limit situation, but lets it be, does not want to recognize it, does not want to take charge of it, right? Or it could be anything else, right? But since there is a Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is a card that is speaking to us about what could be a good emotional condition where things are being worked on, such as wounds, such as situations of pain in a relationship, and that you are now very calm, because in this place that the star leads you to and that the Six of Swords is helping you to reach, you arrive at this place, to this way of being complete. You are going to be living something very different from what you are leaving behind. So we are not addicted to conflict, obviously. So the Eight of Swords tells you, well, that if you already know that this situation is not suiting you, that here there are lies, that there are entanglements, there are complications, well, it is the moment to free yourself for the opening of the new or of what awaits you on the other side. It indicates that you are also discovering things that no longer add up for you or do not go with you. And so you are making the decision to get out of there, right? Also, it refers to a critical environment, a space where you do not feel comfortable, and a situation that just does not sit right with you. It is also a form or a wake-up call for you to take into account acting, certainly. And on the other side, the Nine of Cups is waiting for you, and the star is speaking to us about the fact that something happens in your life. You get excited again. Something is going to make you feel hopeful. It could be with the emotional part or with the work part or with that which you are leaving behind or even with the economic part. The star is present because you have excellent prospects for rebuilding yourself after a difficult moment, truly excellent prospects. It is a time for you to embrace this new path forward. The star points to a moment where you are truly showing yourself differently. There is no longer any danger. You no longer have any reason to remain isolated or to feel the lack you experienced with the Five of Pentacles. There's a hope. There's a hope that generally comes hand in hand with new projects. So I see that in that place that you arrive at, that the Six of Swords leads you to. It is a place where job opportunities arise, very beneficial possibilities, a good environment to be in, and the good prospects that can be projected over something that makes you very hopeful. Possible economic improvements are arising as well, and you are enjoying it, because doing this also connects you with enjoyment, because the Nine of Cups is there. And the Nine of Cups is the card that tells Aquarius, well, finally, the moment has arrived where Aquarius feels that the desire becomes reality. And that happiness also comes hand in hand with having healed an emotional wound. So you're also going to make yourself valued on an emotional level. You are conquering something after a moment of disappointment. Maybe you are leaving an empty relationship, and on the other side, someone is waiting for you who really distinguishes you. Who knows? I mean, for that person, you are very important. They know everything you have been through. And it is not for less that they want to be with you, because there is a star there. So if it is your desire to leave all this to go in search of that person, or in search of whatever it is that you see that illuminates your life, I can assure you of it, because they obviously invite you to see life in another way, from satisfaction and happiness in a complete way in very little time, because you want something to happen regarding this. That complete happiness will arrive, I have no doubt. And then you will feel truly blissful. In any case, you are now achieving something that fills you with pride and allows you to live in a better way, much better, and without setbacks, just as the Five of Pentacles showed us. Let's see what the angels tell us. Well, concentrate on your dreams. Let the power of manifestation get underway now. Impressive. That is why you have the star card. I have loved your reading, Aquarius. I ask you to decree for this to happen.